Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, and that's Theta, and we're here with another stone-faced reaction, reacting to Rust Eater Bisco, where a bunch of stuff happened last time, where I believe they were interacting with a bunch of kids and saved them from evil pufferfish. Giant evil pufferfish.
Do you remember what happened in the... Was there a next time on this one?
I think there was, but I don't remember what was going on in it.
I don't remember. My problem is that the last thing I edited was 24th Ward, so I didn't... I think I did Bisco in the editing process
Mhm.
half a week ago, so
Right.
I don't quite remember. Also, I was very much focused on what happened to um, Milo? Is that his name?
Yeah, Milo is the secondary character.
Milo's sister.
The dog.
I was
Yeah.
I was very much focused on what's happening with Milo's sister. So
Right,
that's
her
most
and
of what
their
I
little psychopath horror story.
can remember is that. So I do remember the whole flying pufferfish fight scene and
Mhm.
Dad's harpoon, which got used.
Yeah. So we don't quite really know what's going to happen next time, but I think as we discussed last
Oh,
time,
Jabby.
it's a very episodic thing anyway. We're here on the road trip. We're going to just see what event happens next. They don't necessarily follow
No, Jabby was in the follow up.
Javi.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. He got arrested.
yeah, because you thought you'd never see that guy again for some reason. So
Yeah. He's going to become a character again. Oh no, here's my prediction. They're going to like have him tied up to some big thing and they're going to be using him as a hostage so they can't fight back, and then they rescue him and now he's a part of the main group again.
I mean that doesn't make any sense specifically because they're still back at the city and our party of people are actively moving away from the city.
They send things out. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know how, I don't know why.
But
I
no,
just know it's the most cartoonish thing I can think of.
remember the girl was special because she had a plane, and that nobody
Mhm.
has planes,
Yes.
and that plane's already been destroyed,
Mhm.
so they don't have anything to go flying out there with. Also, you remember our party had to try to take a train to get where they were going.
Mhm.
So we're many levels separated between where they were, where Jabby is, and where they are, by like multiple methods of transport as well.
Mm. They have been traveling by the train tracks, basically, and are following that. That's kind of like what they were talking about with the map last time. So maybe
That was two
all the
episodes ago.
yeah, 2 episodes ago. No, that was last episode.
No, two
Part of
episodes.
being with the kids was being told like what each of the stations were because Bisco couldn't read them.
Well, they haven't gotten to that part yet. That hasn't happened. That was what was discussed. 2 episodes ago, they were traveling by the tracks to get to that one
Hmm.
station that blew up.
Yeah.
They haven't actually gone to any yet.
So let's see. Yeah, they haven't gone anywhere, but that's the pathway they're following. My theory in the back of my head is like maybe they could use a train, but I mean the point is everything is rusted. Do they even have one? Will they have like a half animal that can act as a train? Who knows? It
Well,
could be fun. It'll be exciting.
we already discussed that problem too, and I don't remember if I kept it in the clip. My problem is that I usually sit here thinking, God, what can I remove that won't matter? And
Hmm.
one of them might have been that discussion we had about the car that they were walking across and sat in because Milo was having a heat stroke,
Hmm.
where the car was completely free of rust.
Yeah. So let's see. I think I got everything in my brain out. What about you? You gotta search deep for
No, I
that.
thought I would just look up until you said something.
It's your introspection mode.
Now just give the
Uh,
viewers a good shot up my nose.
yes, for those people who like noses, I guess. Question mark. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch. And it's winter already.
I thought I saw something about winter, or remembered something about winter, but I thought that was stupid. We're like in a desert. Clearly,
Hmm.
that's not right. Although some smartass in the comment in the future is probably going to put
Well, I
down
mean,
that Antarctica is also a desert because it's based on rainfall and
well, it
not
was a
ice.
desert of rust, right? Like, the climate didn't really change.
Well, I don't know. Whatever happened turned large swaths of Japan around Tokyo into a desert, which it
Right, into
currently
dust,
isn't.
basically.
Looks like the Dust Bowl, I guess.
Mhm.
We already know it's pink-haired girl.
Very inconspicuous. That wasn't a bad shot. Wait, that was actually a real snow rabbit. I thought that was just like someone's snow sculpture.
No, it moved. It moved like the first time we saw it. Like it did that little anime thing of, whoop, I get low and I get high again.
Oh, there's the person who's been observing them.
I told you. We already know it's a pink-haired girl.
Alright, so that went from airhole to... Wait, she has an RPG on her.
余計なことばっかり。よっぽど暇なんだね。
見てみろこの態度よ。なんで命の恩人に礼の一つも出てこねえんだ。
誰が礼なんか。言っても言われても邪魔なだけだよ。借りとか縁とか作りたくないし。
ねえ、僕たちできるだけ急いだのに、君一体どうやってここまで抜けてきたの？
She did leave before them, but... And then they get stuck in a city for several days.
そんで宮城まで向かうつもりが。
Oh,
Big
dang,
and
she's...
rust doesn't matter, apparently. Also, who the hell is operating that?
I'm the one person who can fix up aircraft in this universe, and I find the one person with the anti-aircraft gun.
Again, which also isn't rusted.
Oh, we're having a good empathy moment here.
Are we? Remember, she's also a liar and a cheat, so... I suspect we're gonna pan over and they don't care. Never mind.
There's maybe a bit too much anime here, but it's still an interesting character that we got going for her now. Lots of ups and downs.
I don't know. Trying to think of the world is kind of messing with me, so...
A little bit, right?
Well, again, the whole build-up is about rust. But here's a conversation about a helicopter that's not rusted. Oh, and an anti-aircraft weapon that's not rusted either.
I know, right? Though I'm gonna make a prediction now. She makes like a spaceship at the end of this or something. Hmm.
ここが狐坂駅だよ。
入り口が氷で塞がってるね。
この程度なら問題ねえ。 Ataga.
I wanted to be revealed there's just more levels of ice.
I mean, realistically, that's what it should be, because otherwise, how did ice form over the top of a hole?
Yeah. Whatever. They're just making a point. It's cold.
I think they got that point when there's all the snow and ice. Also, the trade scene to get cloaks and materials for the snow and ice.
この胞子壁に入るのに口の中は平気なの？
コツだよなもん。俺を誰だと思って。
Yeah, an absolute expert.
うるせえんだよ、いちいちお前は。
見てビスコ。光合。
Look, Bisco, metal train cars that also haven't rusted yet.
全部家屋製鉄の車両だ。
この手の列車はセルフサービスで動かせるはず。もし生きてるのがあればね。
If they still work, if they aren't rusted, if there's still electricity here.
You know, at this point, I think there's just a disease going around, and there's no actual rust. 'Cause everything seems fine. This looks more like a post-apocalypse where a bunch of people just died to disease.
Put in the 300 yen fare. It's like, wait, the person operating it has to pay?
もうどいてどいて見てらんないよまったくなるほど動きゃそれでいいって感じだな
こんな昔の機械の仕組みがわかるの？
前職がメカニックってだけ
前職ってどこかの企業に勤めてたってこと？
あの頃は奴隷みたいな扱いだったけど給料は悪くなかったよでもある時いきなり出土した鉄人の補修を任されちゃって本物かは知らないけど復元しろって言われてさ天下の的場製鉄がどうかしてると思うでしょ
World building.
でも本気だったどんどん行員が寂しんでって一番下っ端だった私が現場責任者になる頃命がけで逃げたんだずいぶん昔の話だよ雑な作りしてるからいじりにくいちょっと時間ちょうだい
My problem is the world building that she's doing is cool. The world building that's presented to us doesn't make sense.
I don't think they're interested in explaining why there are just random unrusted things hanging around, though.
Right, well,
So
also,
we'll never get an answer there.
you remember they're also heading towards the epicenter of the rust, so things should be getting rustier. And instead, they're getting less rusty,
そうじゃないんだ。
and people are treating it as normal.
楽しく。
ねえどうしてそこまでして誰かに命をかけられるの
Tell me about your human empathy.
Yeah, say something that none of my RPG characters will ever say.
それと不器用だから。だと思う。
That problem when two N's look like an M. This will be something for you guys who are watching the playback to reverse back to and see the joke that I just made.
Terrible. If you're terrible, get your mind out of the gutter.
鬼ゲラ、焦げもず。
Scorch Strike.
違うな。
大体
Best Pokemon moves.
子供の落書き
そりゃキノコモリが書いたもんだ。
わかるの？
独特の絵心があんだろう。キノコモリ特有のタッチだ。ジャビもそんな図を描く。キノコの種類とか書いてねえかな。その動物からどんなもんが咲くか、キクラゲとかシメジとか。
これじゃない
ほんとだ。全部のページにある。ん？サビクイ。ビスコこれだよ。チツヘビ。通称チクワムシ。飛ぶ。大きな餌。ヘリや戦闘機をよく食べる。
It can fly and eat helicopters.
Remember, there's an animal on every page, too.
Yeah.
It's not the mushroom. I think they're
No,
talking
no.
about the animal that's on that page.
That's why I'm surprised about the animal that eats helicopters.
Yes, which means
That is
they
a
must.
dragon.
Which must mean again that they're common enough to
私
eat.
はここまで面白そうだけど
Yeah, that also bothers me.
お礼が言いたいのにまだ名前も聞いてない。
いいってそういうのは
I'm really hoping for a 28 days later scenario, where like this all ends and they get to like a port town, and it's just like bunch of normal people. Hey, you want to sail to America?
名前を教えて。
We got guns still.
I mean, they probably got every. No, I mean like nothing's wrong with the rest of the world. It's only this island called Japan.
僕ら
Yeah.
だって不思議な名前だもん。大丈夫。絶対笑わないよ。
That way, in the sequel, Spiky Bisco 2, they can bring the rust thing to the rest of the world.
チロル大茶釜チロル
Tyrol, hey, we got a name for her now.
チロル、
Time to
お
forget
前の
it.
おかげで助かった。
Yeah, no, she's still just squid. Oh, is it octopus? Damn, I can't remember if it's octopus or squid now.
名前を聞くべきだった。
The name of her shop.
She's a kid now, she's a squid now.
No, she said she named her shop after her hair because her hair looks like a squid or an octopus.
見つけたら二人
Can't remember which one it was.
逆さに埋めてやるから
And I guess while she's part of the cast, she's not part of the main walking group. So it's just gonna be those two still.
ありがとうチロル。本当に会えてよかった。チロル、きっとまた会おうね。僕らたくさんチロルのことを話すよ。友達がどこで何してるかっていつも思ってる。
友達って
チロル、きっとまた会おうね。
And then the tunnel closes in and his hand gets cut off.
ミロありが
And that's our romance arc.
No, the romance arc is actually heading off on the train. It's Milo and Bisco.
Oh gosh, it is just straight up a dragon.
大きな餌はどうしよう。
I'm bleeding!
Oh, Yogg-Sothoth. Who knew he was here?
I'm
Oil
using
squid,
a bow and
acid.
arrow, literally. Just stab it with the arrow at that distance.
跳ねてきたやつだけ狙え。
ビスコ、僕指はまだ。
You just used it. And plus, this is at such short range. I can assure you, a complete novice can hit something at
He's
this
saying
range.
he can't kill things yet, the same way that he didn't use the bow, the arrow to kill the other thing. He only pinned
Okay,
it down.
that's fair. And then he explodes things.
They just had a whole conversation about it.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is one conversation.
At least now they both get to be very cool.
Sure.
仕方ねえ。帰りこの道は使えねえが。何これ。金さんなめこだ。お前行きそうな。伏せたな。
Well, Pokemon apparently exist.
もう追ってこないよ。
毎度ひでえ匂いだ。
And now we got the boss.
Has to be. Has its own theme music.
親玉が嫌がったか。
Fool. I eat mushrooms.
出口遠すぎる。あったがエンジンをちぎり取って早く。
You were just there the whole time, huh?
How's ripping out the engine gonna make it faster?
It shouldn't. I guess it's just a big heavy thing.
Well, why not rip out a train car that you're not on? Or separate the back half of the train from the front of the train?
Ooh, here we go, moment of truth.
Oh yeah, the Jaws moment. Shoot the explosive thing. Oh, here's the romance moment too.
ユミにはまずよく見ること、それと信じること。当たるか。
Well, it's a good thing that the giant monster didn't move.
Good thing the explosion actually propelled the train instead of just enveloping it.
This world's laid out like a World of Warcraft map where just one
粉木幽谷だ
seasonal zone is lined up with the next one.
I think it was like 1,000 points or something. I remember that map, and I remember getting completely lost on
こ
it.
の青い煙は
If you look at the World of Warcraft map
キノコモリたち
from
が来た
above, like in a design angle, just frozen area, desert, barrens. It's like nothing makes any sense to where it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a theme park.
鳥が
There's always a bigger fish.
あれだステミ
Ah, yes. Welcome to Dune.
あんなの蛇じゃないよもう竜でしょ
I'm a little freaked out by all the human legs.
両側から狙うぞ
Oh, I just thought it was like a giant centipede.
Are those fingers now? I don't even.
No, it's like centipede legs. Or millipede legs, whichever you prefer.
どうやって
How'd she get to the other side of the ravine?
What are you talking about? She's come from the same direction they did.
敵め
神のキノコサビクイをその手に掴むとはキノコモリの本懐あやつらなかなかやりよるわいだが誠の敵は人間だぞビスコ
The true enemy is
奪われた
people.
サビクイありゃ奪われてしまうんかいな
Alright, so Javi's not a great guy either.
What do you mean?
The true enemy is people.
Oh, yeah, I guess he's probably misanthrope too. That kind of makes sense. Still, hey, now we know what's going to happen. They're going to find the mushroom and it's going to be stolen.
Wait, misanthrope, that means bad?
It means you hate people.
What is it?
Miss is bad and thrope is people.
Do I have the definition of words wrong?
Or I guess anthrope.
I mean,
means
in my
specifically
defense, I haven't been
humans.
going around telling people they're misanthropes, so it's not like...
Yeah, put that one to your vocabulary
Oh.
here. But
Oh, go figure. I don't know
yeah,
a word to
learn
define
a
myself
new
with.
word every day, everybody.
I gotta-
Always be learning.
I mean, it applies to me. I'm a misanthrope. But yeah, so true. He's a
All right.
misanthrope. He's not a good person.
But I think like how what I was saying and being surprised by was they ended up on one side of the ravine, went to a new side of the ravine that they hadn't been on, and then the sister was riding a motorcycle and was ahead of them somehow. Still.
So you're surprised that she could jump a ravine, despite the fact that she could jump anything?
No, I'm surprised that she's already ahead of them on the other side of the ravine after they took a train through a mountain.
Well, they're also walking just about everywhere, and she's riding a motorcycle just about everywhere.
That's true. Still hilarious to me. But yeah, that was a lot of fun stuff. We got a lot of action there, which is always fun, and we actually got a good, solid bunch of character moments there. We got one with our new girl. What was it again? It's not Talon.
I'm not going
Yvonne.
to remember her name. She's just Squid Girl.
She's Misty.
See,
There you
her
go.
name is probably Octopus. I mean, the name of her shop is probably Octopus too, so I'm probably getting the animal type wrong,
Right.
but Squid Girl.
But we still had a moment with her where last time they were around her, she made friends with them, and now she's like legitimately becoming good friends and maybe even like some sort of slight romantic interest. We have the second romantic interest.
I think she's
where-
still on a mission to get them.
Mhm.
She might be having emotional feelings and whatnot, and it's probably going to come into play later when she's supposed to turn on them, and then she doesn't, or whatever.
She
But-
seems too legitimately helpful now. Like, my initial appraisal of, like, on-again, off-again villain is, like, being called into question, I feel.
Well, she was never really a villain. Well, she hasn't been a villain since, like, episode 2.
Right, exactly. It was a prediction, and maybe it's failing. They have... I do think, like, Bisco and Milo here definitely have, like, this same mentorship thing going on. Bisco's trying to, like, pass that on and stuff. So, I think it's, interesting. You say, like, it's romantic, but, like, it's obvious, like, they are getting to become to know each other. Bisco's trying to teach them, and, they're making progress. And I think
was
it's good.
saying
They're
it
showing
was-
teamwork.
I was saying it's going to be romantic ever since episode 1 when we first saw the intro, and they're, like, side by side wearing the same clothes and everything. So it's, yeah, I called from episode 1 they were going to be a romantic couple. I'm just repeating it again. So
Right, you ship them, which is good. And then of course we have Bisco, like with his moment, like describing, like, oh yeah, my mentors is what they mean for me, my only family, and yes, we will definitely go back and save both of our loved ones. I'm perfectly cool with this.
well, just to clarify, since you went real fast over it, I don't ship them. I think that they're going to be a canon thing.
You think it's text? There we go. Okay.
Well, I mean, if I were to ship people, I'd be like, Squid and Milo obviously make a good ship because it's obvious there's a feeling there, but I don't think the story is going to go there.
Yeah. Still, I think I'm pretty happy with this episode. A lot of silly, goofy stuff happened, and we definitely changed like environments like on a dime. I guess it wasn't winter. I guess they were just up in the mountains.
Did a lot of fun stuff happen?
I mean, I thought a lot of fun and interesting things happened. Did you have fun?
Name 3.
Let's see. We had the cool little scene where they're back to back doing Archer stuff. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember things that happened earlier in the episode that didn't get just blown out. They started fighting a dragon immediately, which was pretty cool.
I mean, that was the tail end of an action scene that already started, which you already named part of. I don't think that's a different thing.
And then, of course, my favorite moment, the helicopter gets shot down by the anti-aircraft cannon.
Alright, so give me one more thing, then.
Hey, I already met
No, I said...
You can't move the goalposts.
I'm not moving the goalposts. I just said that you said part of an action scene that continued into a different thing. So, that's technically one thing.
No, those are two different things. The action stopped, and then they took up a different action.
Did the action stop? Because literally the action curtailed into exiting the tunnel. Oh no, giant rock thing, come down and pick up the other thing, and then the giant rock thing gets eaten by the dragon thing, which is literally the end of the action scene.
I would say the reveal of the dragon and back-to-back archery are two different moments that are each interesting.
Separated by 30 seconds.
3 minutes, come on. I know, time seems to slow down, doesn't it?
I mean, to be fair, it didn't feel like
up?
23 minutes, but it's how long the episode was. But then again,
I know.
I said this during the end credits, and obviously I had to cut this out because we don't record the credits, because apparently that song is mucho dinero in Japano.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I was doing when I said that, but yeah, I keep getting well taken out by the world building that's incidentally happening.
Right. There's a lot of unanswered questions about how this world really truly works, how there's an economy where you could still get an anti-aircraft gun in the middle of a wintry mountainside where there aren't regular aircraft threats.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not even thinking that hard into it. I mean, when you do, it takes me even more out of it, but...
I mean, that's the level I'm at. I'm constantly in the fridge.
There's a level of consistency to the world building that's not being applied, or it's assuming that we know things about the story of the world that haven't been told to us, so that consistency would make sense, but it doesn't because we haven't, so...
Right, there's a world out there that we don't really know about, but the story isn't totally interested in explaining, because it's not relevant to the action or the characters.
But it is exactly relevant to the characters and the action. Because everything they do is dependent on the world that we have been told to. Look, Tokyo exploded, which somehow created this rust wind, which then ruined civilization, turned a good portion of Japan into a desert, which is then surrounded by a blizzard. I don't know what the hell's going on with the weather situation in Japan. That's a weird tangent I'm not going to delve into. But
we're building up more and more points of, wait a second, how do we put this together?
But it's a fall of civilization, which did and didn't happen, because we still have a city full of people and metal objects and electricity. So... And we're also seeing all over the place metal and technology. And we don't see anybody like, oh, we gotta rub down the shit with the oil that prevents the rust or anything. Anything like that from happening. And Yeah, like I said, the premise of the world is that this rust thing devastated everything. That's why we have ruins of cities and salt flats. And then we just have cars that have been abandoned on the side of the road but aren't rusted at all. And then we have
Right.
trains just sitting in terminals, not rusted at all. And then we have helicopters abandoned, apparently, so that a street mechanic can fix them. Not rusted at all. An anti-aircraft gun, not rusted at all. It's like, how did civilization fall apart again? Because of the rust, right?
Right. On one hand, it seems like a all-spanning disaster, and on the other hand, it seems like things are kind of going perfectly fine. Human civilization, as they used to know it, changed and is gone. But everything's just kind of fine.
But changed as the result of what? Like 50% of things that we had rusted? Or I can't tell. Because
I haven't seen a single smartphone, man. I don't like this world. I can't live in it.
Well, I mean, we don't know when the devastation happened, so maybe it happened in the 80s. I'm just saying that people abandoned their cars on the side of the road, but they didn't abandon them because they were rusting, because they're not. So, why did they abandon their cars? Where did all the people go? Did they all just...
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. That would imply something happened very, very rapidly, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously there was a huge-ass explosion which devastated Tokyo, but they also, everyone that was on the outskirts fled Tokyo, right? Is that the story we're going to go with? And then they abandoned their cars for no reason? And then what happened to all the other people's cars and shit? Like, where did all their stuff go? Where did the people go who abandoned the stuff? Why did you abandon the train station when all the other train stations are fine? The tracks didn't rust. The trains didn't rust. The power systems that kept them in place didn't stop working, even though they would have really quickly in any realistic scenario. Anyone that likes zombies, for example, has done that predictive model of how fast does the power grid go down. People don't keep up with it. And the very realistic scenario is locally, days. Nationwide, maybe a month. Because, you have failing grids and you have independent sources like dams and shit, which will keep their local grids going for a while. So a month without power. Like coal power plants, those will be gone in weeks. Week, maybe. This place has power still, and it's not connected to anything. It's been abandoned.
I think maybe it was an independent train, but yeah. Ultimately, like... It's a cool idea that maybe doesn't have every externality thought out, which I don't always expect every author to understand every aspect of everything in order to write a story, but it does feel like these things should be thought about eventually, right?
Well, this is the very base level. This is the entry level to buy-in, right?
I think more like, what if there was an episode where they did just spend all their time explaining literally everything, and I'm thinking, well, from maybe a narrative standpoint, that would be a snooze fest.
No, I'm not talking about explaining anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I need to do is see the characters operate in a logical manner to the world around them based on the things that we've been shown. Like, they showed us Tokyo exploding. I didn't ask for Tokyo to explode, or for them to show me Tokyo exploding. They showed it.
How do we know you didn't?
They took their time to explain that rust has ruined everything. They took the time to show us that rust has ruined everything. And then, in the day-to-day, logical environment that I just talked about, like, I can explain away the hippos with guns on their heads. It's like, sure, whatever. Anybody could do that in any fantasy setting, Final Fantasy, whatever. You could weaponize animals, whatever. I don't care. That doesn't affect the Rust storyline at all. Now, we're constantly coming across cars and working vehicles and things like that all the time. And your whole Rust story depends on Rust. So,
here's my prediction. The problem's been solved ages ago. people might still have like this disease, but the problem's already gone and nobody realizes it.
I mean, that could.
It would be really funny, at
Well-
least to me, because I love people being completely stupid.
I mean, we know what the answer is. It's the rust eater mushroom, and we know that the people who have it are villainized in the setting because it's the mushroom keepers. I mean, although there are different mushroom keepers, and different mushroom keepers have different
Yeah.
goals. I don't know what I'm looking for here. They have different goals, so they're not always working together, which is why the mushroom keeper that we heard about in the story
Mhm.
that the two murderous old people told could either one be a complete lie, two
Yeah.
be a fabrication of what the expected mushroom keepers are supposed to be, or three be true.
Right. I'm leaning on like unreliable narrator there myself.
I
But,
think it
you
might
know.
be true because, as we all know, the mushroom keepers got villainized for something. People didn't hate mushrooms out of nowhere. It's not like Tokyo exploded. Mushrooms to blame.
Right. Maybe it is true, but the premise was wrong. They aren't terribly evil, just something else happened that they didn't predict. Who knows?
I mean, God, I don't want to keep pulling out World War II shit, but we know what Japan did in World War II.
And we'll never think.
I'm just saying that concentration camps weren't the only horrible crime against humanity pulled in World War II. Japan has its
Right,
own
right.
crimes to answer for, and it did shit. So
Mhm.
the concept of a guy doing weird biological experiments wandering around Japan is not so crazy to me a concept.
I would be positively fascinated if they rolled it back into that and tried to do something with it. But we gotta see if another mushroom eater pops up.
Well, we know that they're existing. That's what they're looking for. That was the concept they brought up for the book. Was that another mushroom eater wrote that book, and that the thing that they're looking for, another mushroom keeper has already found.
Mhm.
Because they wrote it in their book.
And then they probably died to the dragon.
Well, they must have died, or the traders managed to kill them because the traders owned the book.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think I got everything out of my head. What about you?
Eh.
Eh. Eh. Alright, with that resounding I've been Griffin, this has been Theta, and we'll catch you for the next episode. See ya, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?